Aquaflow here, back in the crypto lab. We had a flash crash in the whole crypto market. This could be anticipated, and in this video I'm going to show you why. Today I will not do any introduction video, so let's jump in. First, I want to start with the trend line. Oh, I forgot guys, I have a brand new chart to show, so stay until the end of the video and you will understand exactly what I expect from XRP in the future weeks. You will understand also when I expect XRP to moonshot, right? And why the price is going down right now. So stay until the end. Today, we are going to start with the trend line analysis. You already know about this chart. We have two lines. We have a critical zone, which is a blue band, and the trend line, right? In bear markets, we spend most of our time below the line, okay? This was the last bear market, okay? And look, we spend this much time above the line, here above the line, here above the line, but most of the time the price was below it, right? And look, in the current bull market, it's the opposite. Why? Because we pierced the line, we started using it as a support, then most of the time we are above the line and we spent a little bit of time below it each time. Okay. In addition, you see that every time we pierce the line, we have some kind of capitulation in the market. Okay. Because look, here we have the low of the candle, and then each closing price of the following candles is above the low. Okay. Because look, we have the price, the low price, right? Then we have the closing price of the next candle above it, and then all the next candles are above this level, and the price is going up. Here, it's the same thing. We went above like this, we went below the line, we pierced the yellow line, right? We had a new low, but look what happened. The closing price of each candle after this low was above this level, right? It's amazing. And then we went up. That's why here I expect XRP to have some kind of capitulation, exactly like we had before. And I don't expect XRP to have a closing price below this level, okay? If you see XRP going down and closing below 0.65, guys, we are in trouble. We are definitely in trouble. I want to say two additional things about this chart. The first thing is to give you an update compared to what I said last week. Last week, we were in this candle, okay? And when I made the video, we were still below the yellow line, and I said that if we could close above the trend line, it would be a good sign. And we close above it, right? And this was actually a good sign. But we had this capitulation candle just after, and this is pretty bad. But here is the second thing I wanted to talk about. Most of the time in this chart, I talk about the trend line, but the critical zone is very, very important. And that's why I always keep the blue band in this chart, okay? Sometimes I talked only about the trend line, but I always kept the critical zone in the chart. And this is exactly why. It's because If XRP goes below this zone, guys, it's a bear market, plain and simple. But as long as we stay above this critical zone, I expect XRP to go up, okay? But stay until the end of the video, you will have more indications about what I expect in the future. So, you know that we had this capitulation candle, and I said that this could be anticipated, and I'm going to show you why. But for that, we need to switch to Bitcoin charts. Here is my favorite Bitcoin chart. It is my personal analysis that I'm sharing with you, and yet it is so amazingly accurate. And you know why? You know that every time we touch a circle, it's a pivot point, a strong pivot point, and when we cross the circle, it's a pivot point too. And in the current phase of the market, I said that we had a pattern, right? Last week, I said that here, since the top of Bitcoin, we've been following this pattern. We go down, okay? We go down, we cross the circle, we go up. We go down just before the circle, we cross the circle, we go up. And guess what? Last week I said that we were about to cross the circle, but look what happened. We didn't cross the circle yet. We touched it, but we got rejected from it and we went down. And that's why I always compare XRP with the Bitcoin chart, because we know that the market depends on Bitcoin. And if Bitcoin goes down, the whole crypto market goes down with it. That's why I wanted to show you this chart last week, and look how amazingly accurate it was. We touched the circle and we go down, but I still expect the price to go up after crossing the yellow circle. And as you can see, we are pretty close of crossing it, right? So you need to remember this. To draw these circles, I used a setup circle. I already made a video about it, so I won't explain everything, but you need to remember that we have confluence points, right? And that's how I draw these circles. And it is because of these confluence points here that I know that this line is critical for XRP, because we had a confluence point between the 20 weeks moving average in orange and the yellow circle. And here again, for the yellow circle, you see how accurate it was. We touched it and we got rejected to the downside. But I still think that this is a capitulation candle, but we will go up. Also, we keep on making higher lows. We have a low here, a higher low, and we still have a higher low here. So technically, we are still in an uptrend. Again, I have another argument saying that we should go up from now. Look, if I draw a line that I call a bottom to bottom line, okay, using this bottom and this bottom for Bitcoin, look, it gives us the bottom that we had during the summer for Bitcoin and the current bottom that we have right now. And we have a trend line for the current phase of the market, which is this phase, right? And every time we touch the line, Bitcoin tries to stay above it, and we have a strong bounce to the upside. So That's why I think that after crossing the yellow circle, we should go up. Now let's switch to the other XRP charts. This is a chart that I show a lot on this channel, and the most important line is the bull bear market line. Okay, below it we are in a bear market, above it we are in a bull market. And this is my concern, guys, because while I'm making this video, currently we are below the bull bear market line. Okay, so we still have a few hours before the close of this candle, but if we close below the yellow line, this would be a bad sign. Okay, but it would not mean the end of the world. Why? Because to officially consider that we have a bear market, considering this line, we need a full body of a candle below the yellow line. And right now, even if the price closes below the line, we still have a part of the body of the candle above the yellow line. So if we see the price next week going above this line, we still can consider that this line, that the yellow line was a strong support and that we got a bounce from it. Okay, but if we see a second candle with a full body below the yellow line, then it will be a very big concern for the future. That's why the current time is critical for XRP. You need to pay close attention to what will happen in the future weeks. That's all for this chart. Now let's talk about the new chart I wanted to share with you. Okay guys, this is my baby. I really like this chart. It took me a while to figure out why XRP is struggling to go up, but this chart is telling us exactly why. Okay, and we will dive into the analysis right now. Let's start. In this chart, I still have the bull bear market line because it's a very important line. And as a reference, I wanted to keep it in this chart. But the brand new thing about this chart is these red bands, okay? Here we have one, and here we have another one. As you can see here, we started using the first band in red as a support. We touched it and we went up. After we retested the band, but this time we tested the bottom part of it. We had a strong bounce to the upside, right? You can notice that this was a confluence point between the bull bear market line and the band, and we had a strong bounce. Then we went below. You can notice here also it was a confluence point between the bull bear market line and the band, and it was the start of the bear market, right? Just right here. Then after crossing the band, we started using it as a resistance, okay? It was a small resistance, we made a low, then we have a big push to the upside, but we got rejected from the band and the bull bear market line, right? Then we went down, we tested the band again, but we got rejected. Then we went sideways, we tested the bull bear market line and the band again, but we got rejected and we went to the downside. Then we went down and we tested the band just right here again. So you see that we have 1, 2, 3, 4 touching points with the band before transitioning to a bull market, right? You can see how accurate this band is even here when we could thought that the price was about to go above the bull bear market line because we had a false signal just with this candle. With the band, you see that we got rejected from it. So it was preventing us from getting too excited about the fact of going above the bull bear market line, right? And look, after crossing the band, we went up, and then we had the SEC sell-off, we went down. You can still notice that this was a confluence point between the band and the bull bear market line. So you see that here we had a confluence point, here we had a confluence point again, here it was a confluence area, and we touched both at the same time. And here again, guys, it was a confluence point and we tested the same area, okay? It is amazing. And I forgot to tell you that this band started from here, okay? Because as you can see here and here, it's using the closing price of this high from XRP and the very high of the candle. And as you can see, after it, it was a strong resistance, right? That's why here I'm using the same technique. I'm using the very high of the candle and the closing price of the candle. And look how it works very, very well. You see that this is the last resistance band that we've been touching, okay, for multiple weeks in a row. We have one touching point here, a second one, three, four touching points, and we got rejected. But at the same time, we are getting closer and closer to the band. That's why I wanted to show you this chart, because I know for a fact that just like what we did here, here was the decision time, okay? When we decided to go above the band. And remember, we had four touching points before going above. And look, we have one, two, sorry, two, three, four touching points. And that's why I expect XRP to go up the next time we will test the band, okay? But before doing this, we need to stay above the bull bear market line, okay? If we don't, I will be very, very concerned. In addition to these lines, I wanted to show you something. For this, you need this, okay? You need this bottom, and the last bottom of XRP. And as you can see, this is a wonderful trend line for the price because you see that here, even if we didn't touch it, it was a strong support. Here, we definitely touched it, and this pushed us to the upside, crossing, sorry, and this pushed us to the upside, crossing the resistance band in red, okay? After this, here we used it as a support, here we used it as a support again, and right now we are trying to stay above the line. This is critical, guys. That's why at home I suggest that you use the same trend line and that you monitor if XRP is able to stay above this trend line. Okay, I expect XRP to stay above it. As you can see right now, we are fighting to stay above it, and at the same time, we want XRP to stay above the bull bear market line in blue. Okay, so Right now, you have a full understanding of what I expect from XRP in the future weeks. If we retest the last resistance band and we get rejected again, guys, we will be in a bear market. I'm so sorry to say it this way, but I think that we will be in a bear market. Why? Just look, we will be below the bull bear market line, we will be below the bottom to bottom line in yellow, and we will have a rejection from the resistance band. This will look very, very bad. Okay? So I hope that now you understand why I think that XRP is still in a bull market, but we are in a critical time right now. So just pay attention to what will happen in the future weeks. If you like this video, please don't forget to subscribe and to like the video. That's all for today. It's time to leave the Crypto Lab. Thanks for watching. Do not ever be afraid to make new experiments. And if someone tells you you're crazy, just tell them. Time will tell.